Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. Now this is kind of going to be an odd coffee with Scruff. And if you've never seen me before, I am a full-time day trader. And I have been for a very long time. I've been in the industry 19 years this year. I wasn't always a full-time day trader, but trading has been in my life for those 19 years from industry, because it was my job in a prior world. And this year I've hit something that I never thought I'd ever hit in my life. And I'm not one for mental health issues or anything like that. I'm always a case of, well, if it goes wrong, just give yourself a slap and get on with it, you know. But I hit what you guys, I guess, would call the wall. I completely burned out this year. And I burned out for a number of reasons. And I want to kind of talk to you a little bit about it, because one, it might cleanse my soul, but it might stop you falling into what I've just come through. Now, in my life, I've had hard times. You know, we all have. Very rarely that you'll go through life all singing and dancing. We all have our problems. Now, I'm not one for therapy or anything like that. I'm really not. But I am one for recognizing what's wrong and putting it right. And that's what's happened this year. Let me put this into context. Now, as a person, I trade for a living between swing trading and day trading. And it is stressful. It is incredibly stressful. Why? Because it's my sole income. Okay? It's the only way that I make money. And if I don't get it right, I don't eat. It's that simple. Now, the industry itself is sold in a way that makes it thinks it's so easy. You click a couple of buttons and you're going to be rich. Then you've got the rise of the prop industry over the last 2 years. And that has compounded that even more so. Because when I first started, if you were doing sort of 10 to 20% return a year, you are good. You are a good trader. Now the industry is turned on its head and they're expecting you to do 10 and 20% in 30 days. Well, that's gambling, period. And if I was to go down the route of prop or personal, it'll be personal every time. I've got very little time for the prop industry. I think it's full of charlatans and one thing and another. But I'll balance that out by saying there is a shining light inside the prop industry, and that is the 5%ers, who I personally trade with, because they want traders, they don't want gamblers. So that's a good thing. But what's happened because of this, and because I'm kind of in the public eye to a certain degree, and if you saw the Traders Day Live Expo, which was in London, I was a speaker there, because I'm recognized as being pretty good at what I do. And because I'm pretty good at what I do, people want a piece of it. And I wasn't left alone. So for the last year, I've had no sleep whatsoever. None at all. And a lot of the guys who are in the squad might sort of drop a comment, testament to this. If they ask something, even if it's stupid o'clock in the morning, they get an answer. Now that's caught up with me, and it caught up with me at the beginning of the year, and I kind of burned out a little bit then, and I took a break, but I took my laptop with me, and because I had my laptop with me, I didn't have holiday. So for all I was in Jamaica, I never had holiday. I hardly saw any of Jamaica because they were at me all the time. So when I came back, Juan weren't very happy. And I kind of tried to slow down. Anyway, cut long story short, we had the build up to the expo I've just been mentioning. I couldn't slow down. I had to perform inside of that as well. And when it came, I just literally hit a wall. I was completely burned out to the point I couldn't think, I couldn't function. And that's why you haven't seen me over the last couple of weeks. I needed to step out. And for the first time in my life, I couldn't piece a plan together. Normally I can. I can go, right, okay, this is what I'm going to do. X, Y, Z, execute, get on with it. I couldn't think straight. And not only could I not think straight, I could feel aggression building up inside of me. And the aggression was a case, I wouldn't call it stress. I will call it, well, I'm not sure what I would call it, to be honest. Let's put it this way. I couldn't suffer fools. You know, I've never been able to suffer fools, full stop. You know, I've got little time for freeloaders and things like that. But I've been like that my entire life because I always think you should work for what you get. And something's worth what you pay for it. If you get it free, it's worth nothing, period. But everybody wants everything for free. And the world is cultured that way. And that winds me up. It really does. Because what it means is there's no respect in the world anymore. And these are certain things that grieve me. And because I'm tired and because my temper levels were getting higher and higher, this was starting to manifest itself because I literally had little time for fools. You know, I still try to do what I can and I still try and help anybody who holds the hand out because I feel I should have a moral obligation to do that. But it was taking its toll. And then of course you got those that just, they're not interested in who or what you are as long as they're getting something. And those people where you like sort of turn around and say, look, give me a break. They won't. They're at you over and over and over. And it wears you down to the point where you think, Jesus Christ, I can't do this anymore. And that's where I got to. And it affected everything, you know. And what I've done is, we had a break just recently, just came back from Tenerife and I just booked it off the hoof and off we went because I needed to stop. And I've come back and I've got another one that I'm going in September where I can't be contacted at all because I'm going on a ship. And I'm doing it because the one thing in my life that I can't have affected is Joanne, period. You know, in my entire life, she is the only thing that means anything to me aside the kids. You know, she is my world, night, day, everything. But my job was affecting me and Joanne because I was expected to be at the screen at 6 in the morning and still be there at midnight every day, constantly. And I don't think many people would put up with that. So what it started was, it started creating trouble in the house. Now throw into the mix that we've just bought this house and we used to living in new builds. And now we bought this sort of cottagey sort of railway terrace house thing that's 130-year-old and it fails it. Living in a building site ain't good. Trying to work and rebuild the house at the same time ain't good. No sleep, no days off. Catches up. So where am I going with all of this? Well, for those of you who stuck with it, it's about life balance. Trading is not the be all and end all of the world. It really isn't. It's a means to an end. Trading should be there to fulfill your freedom as a person. Now, for me, it actually became an albatross around my neck. You know, it wasn't freedom for me. It was actually a jail sentence. And that jail sentence compounded and nearly brought me to my knees. It won't, because I'm stronger than that, you know, and I recognized it, which is why I stepped out of it. So what I'm doing is I'm now sort of trying to structure it in a way back to being a job, and then the job can pay for the freedom. So sort of from 6 o'clock onwards, I'm finished for the day because I start at 6 in the morning. I'll just leave the phone till the day after. And if it upsets somebody, well, tough shit. It upsets you. You know, if you can't wait a few hours for me to respond, you're probably failing in the first place. Because I don't trade for anybody, I trade for me. Don't mind telling you what I'm doing before I do it, but essentially it's me, you know. So these are little things. Time is money. I'm not a teacher. I'm really not. But I don't mind doing one-to-ones. In fact, I enjoy doing one-to-ones. And again, when I do a one-to-one, it's normally only meant to be an hour. It's never an hour. It's normally 2 and 3. Well, I've got to structure that into, well, this is the way it is, you know. I'll spend time with you, but I can't spend all day with you, you know. Just little things like that. And what I'm driving at is put your home life first, not your trading. Now, if you do that, what you'll possibly find is your trading improves. And I know you'll scratch your head and go, how the feck can that bloody improve my trading? You'll be calmer. And not only are you calmer, you'll be focused. Now, if you just come to the charts and you're obsessed with the charts, you'll find you're never, ever going to succeed. Ever. And I watch the Discord from all the time. It's always on sort of bottom corner of one of my screens. Just so if I'm at the screen, the guys ask, I can respond and I can talk. But I also watch the bar. Don't go in the bar that much. Because if I go in, I'll never get out. And then that affects my job again. But I do watch, and I see people go in very early morning and they're there all day, right the way through. And all that's running through my mind is, you can't stay focused for that long. Now, if you're just chitty-chatting and one thing, no, that's fine. But if you're jumping from chart to chart to chart to chart, what you'll find is you'll go number blind. And that number blindness will stop you from succeeding. So take my advice when I tell you to slow down. You know, I didn't take any of my own advices this year and I hit the wall. And I hit it harder than ever. And it's maybe my age. You know, I mean, when I was in my 30s, it wouldn't have bothered me in the slightest. You know, I just got on with it. But now I'm in my 50s. It kind of, my body can't do what my mind wants me to do. And then if your body's tired, your mind becomes tired as well. And it doesn't think as clear as it should. And that's where I was, you know. So stepped out of it. Kind of crystal clear. I can see where it is I'm going. Starting afresh on Monday, back to it. I'm going to put structure into the Discord group a bit more. I'll start doing an early morning read of the strength sheet and one thing and another. And I'll do that on a kind of a rewards basis for the public. If I get plenty of likes on it, I'll do it the next day and so forth and so forth. So they'll see that up and running. We have our morning calls, which is fine. I'm working up till about midday each day for the biases, because I'm normally finished about 12, 1 o'clock. And when I'm done, I'm done. And then I'll do it again the next day and the next day. And then on a weekend, I'm having Sunday off. And I'm putting these in place so that it doesn't affect the one thing that I do trading for in the first place. My personal life, Juan. Because if she ain't here, what's the point? There isn't one. So all of that hard work was for nothing. So I have to put it front and center. and she always will be. She always has been, and she always will be. And I'm not really sure where I'm going with this one, to be honest, because it is genuinely a coffee and me just talking into the camera some of my deepest thoughts. Very rarely I'll admit to failure. I don't believe in failure. I just believe in setbacks. You have a setback, but it's not a problem. You learn from it, you move forward. Failure is absolute. If you failed, that's it. It's done, finished. You know. So this setback, I'm having to learn from. And if that's growing from a mental health point of view, then for the first time in my life, I'm acknowledging a mental health issue. And that mental health issue was burnout. I was literally finished. But from a good side, I recognized it and I'm going to put it right. And I don't think many people can do that. You know, I'm not one for self-pity. I'm not one for self-loathing. But what I am is self-critical. If I think it's wrong, I'll correct it. But I can only correct it if I know it's wrong. And this time I do know it's wrong. I know it's wrong from the amount of arguments that we're having. I know it's wrong from a health point of view because I am literally exhausted. I put on way too much weight. I've got that down quite a bit. Still not quite at my fighting weight, if you want to call it that. I'm still in the sumo leagues, but I'm a lot better than I was. And I'm going to continue. And that'll make my trading better because my mind will be clearer. So, yeah, this video is more for me than anybody else. It's me clearing my soul, admitting to myself I was wrong and I need to correct things and stop letting people take advantage of me, you know, because they do. And if I can do that, life will be so much better, I think. Something for you to think about. Always think about your well-being, whether it's your physical or your mental. And if you recognize something's wrong, correct it before it gets too late. And that's what I'm doing.
Good job.
And always remember, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.